is an initiating spiritual master for many devotees around the world. He is mostly engaged in traveling and spreading Krishna consciousness. In 1998, Maharaj joined the governing body commission and now acts as the GC for ISKCON workshops. As you may have noticed, he has special interest in filming, photography, and parikrama, which means visiting holy places of deep spiritual thought, which he has translated into impressive series of appealing documentaries and books. Let us all welcome His Holiness, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj, with a roaring round of applause.
Thank you very much. Bless you both. Namaha Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presta Kutane Shivani Bhakti Vedanta Swadaviti Navane Namaste Saraswati Deve Goparadani Pachane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastichari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vajpam Chudivishya Kripus Divya Echa, Patitam Pamadevyo Vashdevyo Namo Namaha. Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. His Grace Arjuna Prabhu was referring us to Lochadas Thakur's descriptions of the Panchatatva and how they were saving even the worst people. It's described also in Chaitanya Charitamrita that when Lord Krishna came, that he brought the storehouse of love of God. He brought it. It was here. But somehow or other, it remained sealed, it remained locked up. And therefore, practically, no one, hardly anyone, at least hardly anyone who didn't already have love of God. Those who already had, that's another thing. But those who didn't have, even though the storehouse was there, Lord Krishna brought it, and it was there, it was just full of the most amazing love for the Lord, but basically it remained locked and it wasn't open and it was just not available. But then Lord Chaitanya came with the other members of the Panchatatva and they broke open that storehouse. They just smashed off the lock. And the doors just opened up, just like that. And then a great flood of love of God just came pouring out and pouring and pouring. Just like a couple of days ago, I think it was Tuesday, was it? There was such incredibly heavy rain. I don't know if they've ever seen anything like it before. There were just floods going all over the place. Waterfalls suddenly appearing. So when the Panchatatva broke open the storehouse of love of God, it was like that, but it was more. It was even more. And it was so overwhelming that at least all the devotees and the nice people, the pious people who had some, at least a little attraction or inclination towards Krishna consciousness, they all just got washed away and drowned, and that was it. Just swept away back to Godhead in this flood and mother of God. But as Ajita Prabhu was saying, the impious people, the materialists, the fruited workers, those who are just trying to make money, the mental speculators, the impersonalists, and Chaitanya Charitamrita says, the lowest of the student community. Hare Krishna. Maybe because some students say that. Anyway, the lowest of the student community, they could not drown. They were unable. So you had this whole flood just covering everything. But here and there you could see these heads sort of bobbing around above the flood. And they were those materialistic people and impersonalists and some of the students, etc. They couldn't drown. Everybody else just drowned just like that, and they were gone. So these people, their heads were sticking up above the flood waters, and they were calling out, "Help! Save me! Help!" And the Panchatatva was swimming around, and they would see there's someone over there, there's a head above the water, just over that side, calling out, "Help! Save me!" So the Panchatatva would call out, "Don't worry, we're coming for you." So it's swim over, there's that person here, just here, only just above the water. And the Panchatatva would grab the person and push them under. And the person would drown. What mercy! Amazing mercy. So they managed to drown even these people who are just like, you think they could never become devotees, different varieties of that sort of person. But suddenly, the Panchatatva were drowning them. So Panchatatva have appeared here. Of course, they've been around in one way or another. They've been around the rishis for many years. From when Arjuna Prabhu became a devotee, 50 years ago, from when Giriraj Maharaj was based here and preaching and making many people devotees. But now the Panchatatva are here in a very, what would you say, very sort of explicit form. There's no chance of hiding them or something like that. And the Panchatatva, those people whose heads were sticking out of the flood of love of God, when the Panchatatva came swimming over, the people thought, we're safe now, they're going to save me. Little did they know they were going to get pushed under forcibly. So the Panchatatva, they are giving not swimming lessons, they're giving drowning lessons. How you can drown, we have to learn how we can drown and stop resisting it. That's the Panchatatva, that's their mission. So they give it drowning lessons, how to drown in that flood, that ocean of love of God. And now from here, from Dusan, I think, and particularly seeing the size of the temple here, I think it's bigger than, the temple room is bigger than the temple room in our new temple in Phoenix. Pretty close to it. It may actually be bigger. But I think it's going to be a really, this is now the beginning of a new phase of the development of the Krishna consciousness movement in Mauritius. Because the Panchatatva, there's so many nice people here today, so many of whom are devotees already, or more or less devotees at least. But still, there's a lot of people, Hindu people, who they're very attached to Karma and worshipping Lord Shiva. And even I saw some, they were walking on fire, I guess with Draupadi, or maybe they worship Madhya, I don't know, or Kartikeya Murliga. Anyway, and it's a little more difficult to really get them into Krishna consciousness. But I think now the Panchatatva have really established themselves here very strongly and very beautifully. I think it's going to have a huge effect on all of our efforts to spread Krishna consciousness in Mauritius. And I think it's part of Prabhupada's plan and his whole idea how Mauritius could become the first Krishna conscious country. So anyway, congratulations to David Nanda Prabhu and his team. Congratulations to His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj, without whom I don't think any of this would be happening, really. Not like it is. And congratulations to all of you nice devotees. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Panchatatva Ke. Hare Krishna.
Indeed, Maharaj, the love of Godhead was loved for ages. But by the mercy of Sri Panchatatva, Srila Prabhupada, and many pure devotees, Krishna consciousness is being spread across the world. His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. So, ladies and gentlemen and dear devotees, we are very fortunate to have among us today His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, who is an initiating guru in ISKCON. In March 1969, while a student at Brandeis University, he met His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. After graduating, Maharaj became an initiated disciple of Srila Prabhupada. From 1982 to 2000, Maharaj served as a member of ISKCON's governing body commission, GBC. In that capacity, he oversaw ISKCON's activities in many countries, as well as in Mauritius and South Africa. Currently, Maharaj focuses on the main instruction he received from Srila Prabhupada, which is to write books. He is the author of many inspiring books, and he has recently unveiled his latest book, Dancing White Elephants, Traveling with Srila Prabhupada in India, August 1972 till August 1970 till March 1970. The most awaited known our dear devotees, and now have the immense pleasure to invite our dear most His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj to address all of us with a big round of applause. Please celebrate us.
Dear devotees, it's a great honor and pleasure and privilege to be with you on this occasion for the installation of Panchatatva. The Panchatatva are most merciful and personal their glory on the efforts. And on this occasion, I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude to Prabhu and his team for providing this wonderful project, which has now culminated in the installation of our after a senior, the body has enumerated 64 items of devotional service, and he said that of the 64, 5 are most welcome, and he will a slight association with any one of the 5 and a second form of so whatever is God, Sadhu Sangha, in the statement of devotees, especially advanced devotees. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana, the chanting of the holy names. Bhagavat Shravana, hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Vishnu Vasa, designing confer of this temples and Murti Federally was saying faith and animation. So these activities will take place here in the temple, and we invite all to come as often as possible and join in the honor of devotion service. We will come into the 5 Sadhu Sangha. She will put up the definition of Sadhu Sangha. So the key ashtaye sute Sadhu Sangha Sarkota. The Pajatiya in literal sense and the same community for us to be followers of Srila Prabhupada. But the key ashtaye sute means affection. Sadhu should be affectionate. But the key ashtaye sute Sadhu Sangha Sarkota. And the advance. So, as we take advantage of this facility, one year, before the Satyananda Swami was doing a very severe non-brahma during Kartik at Radhakum, and almost all of his time was involved in chanting. But still, he agreed for me to come and meet him. And at that stage, some devotees had the idea that to get advanced association, you have to go outside of Islam. And Satyananda Swami said that we can get advanced association within Islam. And that as humble devotees, we will see the other devotees as more advanced. We gave the example of the two of us, that he, Satyananda Swami, and Srila Prabhupada instructed us to address one another as Prabhu, Master, sermons, and that's a very wholesome and congenial condition. And he said we should really mean it when we say Prabhu. Oh, Prabhu, please give me my service. So, Satyananda, non-Kirtana, we have your thoughts here, and we all I think yesterday, we probably non-Kirtana for 2 hours, and yeah, Srila Goswami says that Kirtan has a special potency to evoke spiritual emotion. So yeah, Kirtan, Vaishravana, Gita, and after the discourses here, opportunity for us, as I said, and then maybe for them to say now we have and so by engaging in parish service, the beauty of leading worship is that you personally perform the deity worship, you witness others engaged in deity service. So, devotees are free to come down. They have a wonderful facility that they don't us and this team provided us. And the mercy of Panchatatva, which is on the Swami, come to ground. Is the image coming around describe unity of the Panchatatva that come to ground of law, the emotion of the God. They should take advantage of their mercy. They are now manifest. Available the opportunity to get their mercy and drown the ocean of God. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, our dear Lord, His Holiness, His grace, blessing my upon these speaking through the word in Australia and my His currently Eastern Minister of Deity Work. While I was preparing myself today for this auspicious ceremony, I came across one of his interviews where His Grace rightly mentioned that today the Academy in Mayapur is working towards inspiring devotees to become Brahmanas, which means that we want our devotees not only to follow the rules and the rituals, but we also want to be able to understand them, to put into practice, and most importantly, to inspire others in the community in the belief of the Lord. Hare Krishna. We shall now invite His Grace, Narasimha Prabhu, to enter his words.
Hare Krishna. I won't speak long because I need to go back and start. And I just would like to say it's also very humbling to be asked to speak after devotees who have found so inspiring devotional service. Especially, I remember as a young devotee doing the English in Vrindavan, and everyone would argue His Holiness the Bhakti Maharaj would be there, and His Holiness Guru Maharaj would be there, and I would also be there. And I'd be watching them after I was talking about the glorified. And for me, that was just like the spiritual world to be there with such distinct Vaishnavas. And to see their example, and not just offering the argument, but to see how they would interact with the deity. This reverential mood is very, very inspiring. I was thinking just to briefly touch on two topics. One topic is the identity or the nature of the deity, and the other topic is why the deity is. So there's a nice story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the story is much more. And it's a wonderful story where there's two brothers. I won't tell the whole story. But one of the brothers is asking the Lord to be witness to the word that was given by the old man. And at one point, he's discussing with the deity, and he's asking Gopal to come. And then Gopal says, "Well, I can't come." He says, "My dear Lord, you're directly the son of Lord Krishna." So it's identifying that the deity is directly Krishna. It's not a representation. It's not a statue. He says, "Pakulana, you don't be such a..." You're not a statue. You're not a Pratima. You're directly the son of Lord Krishna. And if you can talk, you can walk. So you please come with me. So we see there's many wonderful stories in the scriptures about how great devotees have had direct interactions with the deity and with the deity has communicated with them. And one of the key elements of all these interactions is faith. The devotees have that faith that the deity is the direct Krishna. And therefore, this enables them to have this interaction with Krishna. And we also see, because sometimes people don't have to they'll say, "Why do you worship statues?" Because they just seem rather there. But actually, you can understand properly because we really nice example of the postbox. And he explains that you can have a postbox, and you put a letter in the postbox, and you go to its destination, right? But if you don't want to pay the postage, you decide, "I'm going to make my own postbox." You pay it up in wherever it comes, and you go put your letters in the postbox. They won't go anywhere. And then so Prabhupada asks the question, he says, "Why does the postbox work?" And he gives the answer, because it's authorized. It's authorized by the post office. Therefore, it's empowered to work. So in the same way, this process of healing, this Panchatatva, it's an authorized process. We see that in the 27th chapter of the Canto. Krishna gives instructions to Buddha on how to worship the deity. He tells us about the whole process of deity worship and what he likes in Kali Yuga especially. And two of the points of this mention, we just these Abhishek before. And so Krishna tells the Buddha in the Bhagavad, he says, "In Kali Yuga, in my deity form, the two things I like the most, bathing and dressing and decorating." These are the things that Krishna likes the most. So this Abhishek that we did before was done for the pleasure of Krishna. And the other point I just want to touch on briefly is why we descend. Prabhupada often described, he would use the term the Archa Vigraha, and he would explain that the Archa Vigraha means the mercy incarnation of Krishna. Because as conditioned souls, it's very difficult for us to interact with Guru. We cannot see him, we cannot touch him. Even when we chant holy name, not many of us actually come to the realization that Krishna is present in his holy name. We see these fire things we've been doing. The Lord is inviting them to the fire. But who sees that? The priest understands that the Lord is there. But generally, we don't see that Krishna is present. But with the deity form, Krishna descends in this form so that the conditioned living entities, those with conditioned senses, can actually have a direct, tangible interaction with him. So you can see him, you can worship him, you can bathe him, you can dress him, you can feed him. And this way, through the process of deity worship, we will become purified. So I encourage you all to cultivate this understanding that Krishna or the Panchatatva have appeared here for you. Not here for any other purpose, he doesn't need our saving. But he comes here to give us the opportunity to have a direct relationship with him. And when Prabhupada installed the deities in Los Angeles, he gave a wonderful lecture. And at the end of the lecture, he explained, after the lecture, he explained to the devotees that they should have a large bowl in front of the altar. Large brass bowl, they put a big brass bowl there. And whenever you come before the deity, you should bring some fruit, you should bring something. You should always bring a gift for Krishna, never come empty handed. And this is part of cultivating a relationship with Krishna. So he's appeared here to give you an opportunity to cultivate an active relationship with him. So thank you very much for Prabhupada.
Thank you, His Grace Bhakti Narsimha Swami Maharaj. Distinguished guests and devotees, of the spectacular Mahabhishek of the Lord Sri Panchatatva and the insightful and uplifting tone of our ethnic guests, we will now proceed to the Panchatatva ceremony of the Lord Sri Panchatatva, followed by the Shringar Seva of the deity and the Raj Guru. The Panchatatva ceremony is performed to formally request the Lord to be present in his heart. That is his deity form, to accept the daily worship of the devotees. Panchatatva is performed by meditating on the Lord entering the deity from one's heart, while touching the deity's heart, holding durva grass and white rice between the thumb, middle, and ring fingers, chanting mantras. After the Panchatatva and the right robe offering, the curtains will open for the darshana of the Lord and the very first Shringar Aarti of the Sri Panchatatva.
Thank you, Priscilla. So, how many of you have come to the temple for the first time? Too tired to raise hand? Or all of you have come before? Okay. And the question. How many of you are a little bit unaware of this beautiful, special form of the Lord, Sri Panchatatva, in the 5 manifestations? No problem, we are here for you. So, ladies and gentlemen and dear devotees, we will now say a few words to all those guests, especially gathered here today, and who are unaware on the form of Sri Panchatatva. All those who know the following verse, you will please recite it together with me. Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupam Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Translation. Let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Shri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 as a devotee, expansion of the devotee, incarnation of the devotee, pure devotee, and devotional energy. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 7 pieces. The Panchatattva further described. The Panchatattva are a 5-fold manifestation of the supreme personality of Godhead, featured as 5 tattvas, that is, true. Namely, Isha Tattva, the Supreme Lord, His expansion Tattva, His incarnation Tattva, His energy Tattva, and His devotee Tattva. These 5 tattvas incarnate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus the Lord executes His Sankirtan movement with great pleasure. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 32, there is the following statement regarding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I quote, in the age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of the Sankirtan Yajna. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his plenary expansion. Sri Chaitanya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, his incarnation, Sri Advaita Prabhu, his internal potency, Sri Gadadhara Prabhu, and his marginal potency, Sri Vas Prabhu. He is in the midst of them as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What should look at? Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by these other tattvas. Therefore, our obeisances to Lord Chaitanya are complete when we chant the Panchatatva mantra together with me, everyone. Jai. Then chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Everyone together. Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even the next speaker and Kirtanya who is going to come is none other than our very own on the island. And he is one of the few Mauritian Sannyas. Holiness Sundar Chaitanya Goswami Maharaj to address all of us. Hari Bol.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Mayavadi Sannyasas Mahaprabhu, why you are chanting? Why? And then when I'm chanting, Mahaprabhu said first, this is coming from the question. If you tell this verse, Mahaprabhu said, yes, 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 this is true. You're following the Parampara.